Hi everybody, Scotty Staff, VP of Product here at Tangle with another Tangletorial 102 video, this time on the HUD and the UI. If you haven't looked at our 101 series on rooms and user panels, I'd start there. The goal of the UI and the control bars in Tangle is to make sure that everything you do with mouse and keyboard is also available via a button somewhere in the app. So if you're using the mouse and keyboard, you'll probably be performing a lot of these functions from there. But if you're ever on a trackpad or you forget a hotkey, it can be really helpful to know where to find it in the UI. So let's start up here in the upper right with this icon of the two people. If you click on this, it will give you a list of all of the rooms and all of the users on your server. Let's start with the room list. If you watched our Rooms 101 tutorial, you would know that we created some rooms for sprint planning and for playing video games and for specific teams. So if I ever want to find a specific room in my Tangle, all I have to do is click on it from this list. Let's go to the sprint planning room, and I'm already there. Now to join that room, I would have to click on the door as per usual, but this just helps me see things maybe in a busy server, or if I'm new to Tangle and I don't quite know where the rooms are yet, this is a great way to find your way around. I can do the same thing with a user. Let's say ScottBot and I are supposed to have a meeting and I don't know where he is. Hey, no problem. I go to this user list. Here's ScottBot. Hey, ScottBot. His door's closed, so I'm going to leave him alone for now. But it's really easy to find your way around a server that's either really busy or that you're new to using this, what we call user list. So I'm going to head back to my homeroom for now and continue the rest of our discussion. Over here on the right-hand side is one of the most used objects or UI elements in all of Tangle. It is our Tangle Objects toolbar. So there's 3 items that we'll talk about on here, plus I'm in a development build, so there's a secret item on here that I'm not going to share just yet. But let's start from the top. So to create items off of this toolbar, you can click and then click wherever you want to place it, or you can click and drag. To create a sticky, you can put any kind of text on here. You could say, hey, I stopped by, but you were out. Let me know when you're back. And you could leave that over somebody's room. You could put it in the corner of their room. You can leave it next to their room. You can put them anywhere you want. We frequently use these for all kinds of things. Someone recreated chest using stickies, so you can be as creative as you want with these. There's also 2 important UI controls on the sticky itself. One is this information icon down here in the lower left-hand side, which will tell you who wrote this sticky and when. And then up here in the right-hand corner is the delete button. You can also delete a sticky by right-clicking on it and selecting delete from the context menu. Our second object type here is the image. So let's go ahead and create an image. And oh look, a Tangle demo image. How helpful. Let's go ahead and hit OK. Once you create an image on your server, you can also grab it to resize it. You can move it around like you would other Tangle images. We support most image types, including transparent PNGs, as you can see here. The only image type we do not support at the moment is an animated GIF because we feel like it's kind of busy in a shared server environment, but who knows, we could get talked out of that. I'm going to go ahead and right click on this and select delete. We're going to skip this one for now. We will talk more about this feature when it is ready to ship. But our third object type, which you saw in the Rooms 101 video, is the ability to create a room anywhere on your server for whatever purpose you need. You can also create object types by right-clicking on the server background and selecting Create Sticky, Image, Room, etc. from that list. Moving to the lower right-hand side is our navigation toolbar. This one is pretty obvious. So you've got your plus and minus here for zooming in and out. Zoom in and out is also available via your context menu. Right-click anywhere on the server to get access to that. And you'll see that there's also a plus and minus shortcut for zooming in and out. The next one is focus. Focus will show you the whole server. It'll squeeze it in your window space depending on how large it is. And then if we hit focus again, it'll actually focus us on our user panel. So if you're ever lost in Tangle, you don't quite know where you went, you can press this focus button or F to get back to where you were. The next one, this grabby hand, I'm going to go ahead and delete this room just so we don't have to look at it here. Yeah. The next one is this grabby hand here. This allows you to grab and pan the Tangle canvas. Most people do this via the middle mouse button M, but again, if you're not on a mouse, no problem. Just swap to the grabby hand down here. And the final one is cursor mode. Cursor mode allows you to share your cursor with anyone else who is on the server. So I'm going to have ScottBot share his cursor, and look, now I can see where ScottBot is pointing and what they might be pointing to. They might say, hey Scotty, could you come and join me in the sprint planning room? It's right over here. So if you need to demonstrate something to someone else on the server, or if you're just feeling a little lonely and you want everybody to know that you're around, sharing your cursor is a really cool way to do that. Now we get down to our control bar, which is another heavily used UI inside of Tangle. This is at the bottom of your screen down here, and there are 5 controls on here. On the far right is the environment volume. This controls the volume of overheard audio. So you can go all the way to loud, all the way to mute. As I was saying in that video, most folks like to keep it about 25-30%. You can also set your status from down here in the control bar, as well as from inside your user panel. I'm making a video. Your screen share function is right here. So again, you can select screen share and, oh, let's look at system preferences. What am I doing? I made my cursor extra big for this video. You've got your video on and off. Hi. And then you've got your mute on and off as well. Pretty obvious stuff there. And just as a reminder, you can always switch between your audio devices or your video devices through this little arrow menu here. And then finally, in the lower left-hand side, at this point, much of the interface here is debug, but this is the settings menu. There's not too much stuff that you would have to change in here that you wouldn't be able to change from elsewhere inside of Tangle. However, there is one important feature that I do want to call out. There's a slider in here called the UI scale factor. It will make your UI much smaller or much larger, depending on where you position it. For most people and most displays, the UI is going to show up at the correct size. However, for some displays, 4K ultra-wides or especially MacBook Retina displays, the UI may show up too small or too large, in which case you can use this UI scale factor to change the size of the UI. Eventually, we will be able to automate this process, but in the meantime, some people just like it to be a little bit bigger, so feel free to use that slider to make it comfortable for you. There's also a microphone volume in here. It is the case that some applications will actually change your microphone volume. So if people can't hear you in Tangle, one of the best 101 kind of troubleshooting things that we ask people to do is to actually come in here and check this microphone level and make sure that that is correct. Okay, that is Tangle UI. Not too complicated, not too tricky. As per usual, you can find more documentation about this on our Zendesk support area. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. We are always here to help.